Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will see lesson 3, importing data from files. So in this lesson, we will see some of the following objectives, like how to use get-content to read the file data, and how to use import-CSV to retrieve the data, and how to use import-CLI XML to import the XML data, and then how to use convert from -json to work with the JSON data. And the last one, we'll see how to import data from the text, CSV, and the XML files. So first one, we'll see using get-content. So we can use get-content, to retrieve the data from the text file in the script. And the information that we retrieved from the text file, that will be stored as an array, and each line in the text file, that will be an item in the array. So the typical syntax for the get-content is the following that we have mentioned in the slide. So in this example, using the computer.txt, we can retrieve all the computer names through this text file, and we are storing that in the computers variable that can be processed for all the items that is in the computer.txt. And we can also use the for each construct if you wanted to do any processing for each of the computers in the list. And in future, in case if you are adding more computers to the computers.txt file, then using this get-content will retrieve all the updated information from the text file. Okay, so next, we can use multiple files as well using the get-content. So for that, we can use the wildcard. So using the wildcard, we can include multiple files in the path using the get-content. So when we use the wildcard, we can also use the parameters like -include and -exclude. So when we use the -include, it will include the specified patterns that we have mentioned, and when we exclude, it will exclude whatever the pattern that we have specified. So this wildcard will be very useful when we want to scan all the text file for a specific content, such as errors in the log file. So this will be the syntax to use the wildcard with the -include. Here we are specifying star.txt and star.log. So with this, we can also limit the amount of data that we can retrieve using the get-content. So for that, we can use the parameters like -total count and -tail. So using -total count parameter, we can specify how many lines it can be retrieved from the beginning of the file. And using the tail parameter, we can specify how many lines can be retrieved from the end of the file. We'll see the example for that as well. Okay, so for example, let me run the following command. Okay, so I have a file name called computers.txt. So let me get the content. Okay, so it has 13 line starting 1 through 13, And if I wanted to get only content for the 10, the first 10, I can use the total count and specify the number. So that would display only the first 10 line. So similarly, if you wanted to use the last, then we can use the tail. Okay, so we get the output from the last line in the file. Okay, next we'll see using Import-CSV. So many application, will export data to a CSV file, and we can use the import dash CSV commandlet to import the CSV file. And once we, imported the CSV file, each line in that file, except the first row, because the first row will be the header for that file. So except the first row, it will become an items in the array. And the first row will be the header row that will be used to name the properties of each item in the array. So this is the syntax for the import dash CSV, and we'll see an example for that as well. So some program export data using the delimiter other than comma. So in that case, we can specify it using the dash delimiter parameter. And also in case if the header is missing for any of the row, then we can use the header parameter to specify that. Okay, next we'll see using import dash CLI XML. So with XML, it can store more complex data than a CSV file, and we can use import dash CLI XML to create an array of object to store the items. And consider this following example for the import dash CLI XML. To retrieve the properties of the object, as we can use the get dash member command. And also to limit the data retrieved in the import-XML, we can use the following parameters like dash first and dash skip. So using a dash first parameter specify to retrieve only the specified number of objects from the beginning of the XML. And using the dash skip parameter, we can specify if any number of object that we wanted to ignore in the XML file. So next we'll see using convert from JSON. So a JSON is a lightweight data format similar to the XML, and this is commonly used by the web services. And we can convert from JSON, but we cannot directly import the JSON. And we can use this following format for the JSON to get the JSON content. And to convert the JSON, we can use the convert from JSON option. And the retrieve JSON directly from web services by using the invoke command, which is invoke dash rest method, and that is the syntax for that. Okay, so next we'll see some demonstration. Let me go back to the my Windows system. Let me clear the screen. So I'm going to get the content that's in my demo code folder. computers.txt. So there are 3 computers that is specified in this computer.txt, and I'm going to get that in the variable called computers. Okay, and to find out how many computers added to that list, I can use the count option, that is 3. And next I'm going to use the import-CSV. So let me use import-CSV. So I have a CSV file in the demo code folder, which is users.csv. So these are the value in the CSV file. So we have the address, the first line, and we have 4 rows and 4 columns. So I'm going to store that in the variable called users. And if I wanted to get the count, I can use the dot count properties, which is 3, that is the row. And next, if I wanted to print the index value, the index item on the 0, that is the first value, let me use users 0, which would be the first value, and 1 would be the second, and so on. And from this, if I just wanted to print the column which is first, it would show the value for that first. So first is the header. To specifically call that value, we can specify the dot first. And if I want to specify the department, I can get the department by running the dot department. And next we will see the XML. To import the XML, we have to use import-CLI XML. And I have the XML file users.xml that has the similar data that we had in the CSV file. And next I'm going to assign this to the variable called users XML equal. So to get the the count for the users XML, then we can use the count option, that is 4. And to get the value, we can use the array index 0 for the first line item. And if you wanted to get what are the properties available, we can use the get-member. So these are the properties that we can use. Okay, so that's it in this lesson. So we have covered all the three lessons in this module, and we will see the hands-on lab in a separate video. Thank you.